Call me Matt. I'm 34, married, well, for now, to my wife, Kira, who's 32. We've been together 7 years, married for 4. No kids, just 2 dogs and a house we bought together 3 years ago. We both work decent jobs. She's in corporate PR, I manage a small real estate firm. Things were good. At least I thought they were. We've always been a pretty routine couple. Monday to Friday was all work. Saturday mornings we'd do brunch, maybe go hiking or binge Netflix. Sunday was grocery day, wine in the evening, and prepping for the week. Nothing special, but it worked. We were a team. About a year ago, Kira's company upgraded their travel security policies and started assigning private drivers for certain senior staff. She wasn't exactly top level, but she handled VIP clients and events, so they gave her access to a security driver when needed, especially for late-night events. His name was Marcus. Mid-30s, ex-military type, quiet, always in black. She mentioned him maybe once or twice, in passing, just like, "Oh, Marcus was early today," or "Marcus got me home fast." I didn't think anything of it. It started as a convenience. "It's just easier," she said. "Parking sucks downtown." Sure, fine. I even appreciated it, less stress for her, safer too. I wasn't some jealous husband tracking her every move. But looking back, things started to feel different around month 6. Kira became a little more distant. She was always tired. She started sleeping on the couch a few nights a week, claiming I snored more. I didn't. She was glued to her phone all the time. Her texts were shorter. Eye contact got rarer. Intimacy? Let's just say she suddenly had a lot of headaches. I brought it up, gently. I'm not confrontational, and I genuinely wanted to make things better. She snapped at me. Jesus, Matt. Not everything's about you. I've been stressed, okay? Just give me some space. So I did. Like a fool, I gave her space. More and more, she started getting assigned Marcus for weekend work events, at least that's what she told me. Late-night dinners. PR galas. Client launches. She'd come home at midnight, or 1 a.m. Tipsy, sometimes buzzed, sometimes not. Lipstick perfect. Smelling like high-end perfume I didn't recognize. I asked once if I could come to one of those events as her +1. You know what she said? "Oh God, you'd be so bored. It's just schmoozing with corporate people. Not your scene." Right. That's when something in me started to tick. So, yeah. After that, "it's not your scene" comment, I started to notice even more. Kira began dressing up more often. I'm not talking work blazer and heels dressed up. I mean cocktail dresses for client brunches, full glam makeup for marketing meetings, and she suddenly had lingerie I'd never seen before, but somehow I never got to see her in it. The tipping point? She changed her phone password. No explanation. Just one day it didn't unlock anymore. When I asked, she brushed it off with, "Work stuff, company policy." Bull. Shit. One Saturday, she left for an emergency lunch meeting with a high-profile client. Said she was only going to be out for a couple of hours. She wore this red dress I'd only seen once before, on our anniversary. Something inside me clicked. My gut finally screamed loud enough that I couldn't ignore it. I told her I was heading to the hardware store, but instead I followed her. I felt like a creep, but something in my bones told me I was about to see something I could never unsee. She didn't go downtown. She didn't go to any restaurant or office. She met him, Marcus. Not outside. Not in a public place. In the back of his damn car, parked near a secluded trailhead just outside the city. From a distance, I saw them laughing, her hand on his arm. Then her hand wasn't on his arm anymore, it was in his lap. And then she climbed into the back seat. I couldn't breathe. I parked far enough not to be noticed and sat there like my whole body had gone numb. I must have waited 20 minutes. When I finally drove past them slowly, I caught just enough of a glimpse through the tinted window to confirm everything. They were full-on having sex in the back of his car. In a goddamn car. Like teenagers. My wife of 4 years. With a man whose job was to keep her safe. I went home. I didn't text. I didn't call. I didn't scream or cry or punch a wall. I sat on the floor in the living room and stared at our wedding photo. I felt stupid. Like every single moment I thought was real had just been retroactively erased. That night, she came home around 9 p.m. Her hair was a mess. Lipstick faded. That red dress now looked wrinkled and tired. She smelled like cologne that wasn't mine. She walked in all cheery. "You wouldn't believe how annoying this client was," she said, kicking off her heels and grabbing a glass of wine like she hadn't just cheated on me hours ago. I didn't say a word. Just watched her. She talked about how the client was late, how Marcus had to drive her across town, how traffic was a nightmare. Lie after lie after lie, layered in casually like she'd rehearsed it. And maybe she had. The next few days I played along. I needed to be sure. I needed more than just a visual. I needed the truth from her, even if it was buried in excuses and gaslighting. So I started tracking patterns. Her texts, her makeup habits, when Marcus picked her up. And most telling, she'd stopped asking me about my day entirely. One afternoon, I accidentally left my phone on the kitchen counter while recording audio. I left the room when she was on a call, and when I played it back later, boom. Her voice, all flirty and whispery, saying things like, "God, I wish you were here now." "No, he's clueless." "Tomorrow. Same spot. Same spot. The back seat." I couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. I felt like I was going crazy walking through a life I didn't recognize anymore. And all the while, she kept playing the role, kissing my cheek, calling me babe, pretending everything was fine. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I asked her straight up, "Are you cheating on me?" She blinked. Laughed. "What? Seriously? That's where your head is at now?" I didn't smile. Her face twisted. "Jesus, you're so paranoid lately." Then came the fake tears. "Why would you think that? What have I ever done to make you not trust me?" "Everything, Kira. Everything. But I didn't show my cards. Not yet." I needed to catch her in her own mess. Because once I had the proof, I wasn't just walking out quietly. I wanted her to feel it. After our tense conversation, Kira tried to play nice again. Suddenly she was back to asking about my day, making dinner, even wearing that perfume I once loved. But to me, it all smelled like guilt now. She was trying to throw me off, regain control of the narrative. I wasn't buying it. I decided to set a trap. The following weekend, I told her I'd be visiting my brother 2 towns over for a late-night barbecue and beers. She barely batted an eye. "Have fun," she chirped, giving me the most half-hearted kiss on the cheek I'd ever received. I left at 6:30 p.m. By 7:10 p.m., I was parked around the block from our building with a borrowed car and the lights off. At 7:34 p.m., Marcus' familiar black SUV pulled into the driveway. She came out 2 minutes later, heels, short dress, that same stupid giggle she used to do when we were first dating. She climbed into the back seat. They didn't drive off. They just sat there. I crept closer on foot, sticking to the bushes across the street. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. And then I saw it. The windows fogging up. movement. And when I crossed just a bit closer, I caught it clearly in a flash from a nearby street light. Her straddling him. In my driveway. In his damn work car. I froze. I couldn't move. Couldn't speak. Could barely breathe. And that's when the rage came. Not just because she cheated. But because she disrespected me so deeply she didn't even bother hiding it properly. Like I was nothing. Like we were nothing. I didn't confront them then. I turned around, walked back to my borrowed car, and drove straight to my best friend's place. I needed air. I needed clarity. I needed to not be anywhere near her when she came back inside smelling like lies. She came home at 10:48 p.m. I watched her from the Ring camera on my phone. Still smiling. Still pretending. I had seen enough. The next morning, I didn't make breakfast. I didn't ask how she slept. I just sat at the kitchen table with my laptop open and the footage queued up on the screen. When Kira walked in, rubbing her eyes and stretching like she hadn't just committed emotional arson hours earlier, I didn't say a word. I hit play. The video showed her slipping into Marcus's SUV. It was blurry, but the movement, the nature of that movement, was unmistakable. Her body froze. "What the hell is this?" she snapped. I stared at her. "You tell me." Her face turned a shade of red I'd never seen before. Not embarrassment, fury. She was caught, and suddenly I was the bad guy. "You were spying on me? That's so messed up, James. What the hell is wrong with you?" That's when I snapped. "What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me, Kira? You're out there screwing the security guy in plain sight, and I'm the villain for catching you." She scoffed. "Oh please, Marcus has been there for me. Unlike you. You've been emotionally distant for months. Because you've been sneaking off with another man." I shouted. She didn't even deny it. I needed someone who made me feel alive again. "You sit at your desk all day like a ghost. Marcus, he sees me." I laughed bitterly. "Yeah, I bet he sees you. And now I see you, too." That's when her tears started, crocodile tears. "Please, James. Don't throw this away over one mistake. We've been together 8 years. That has to count for something." I stared her down. "One mistake is leaving the stove on. What you did was deliberate. And it was repeated." Silence. Finally, I stood up. "I want you gone." "You don't mean that," she whispered. "I do. This house isn't a home anymore. It's a lie with a roof." And with that, I walked into the bedroom, grabbed a duffel bag, tossed it at her feet, and said the only words I could muster. "Pack. Now." Kira didn't argue. Not this time. She packed in silence, tears streaming down her cheeks like some tragic victim in a soap opera. She tried to make me feel guilty with her trembling hands and sniffles, but I was done. Numb. Checked out. She left within the hour. No dramatic farewell. No, "I'll change." Just the sound of the door shutting behind her and the echo that followed. The first night alone was strange. Not peaceful. Not painful. Just quiet. Like the house had taken a deep breath for the first time in years. I walked around like a tourist in my own home. Every room still had pieces of her slippers by the couch, a half-empty perfume bottle in the bathroom, a playlist of our songs still looping on the Bluetooth speaker. I turned it off mid-chorus. I slept on the couch that night. Couldn't bring myself to lie in our bed. Not after knowing she had probably imagined him there while next to me. The next day, she called. I didn't answer. Then came the texts. "Please talk to me. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean to hurt you. It was just a phase, I was confused. And then finally, "You're throwing everything away over a fling?" That word. Fling. Like our marriage was just a sandcastle knocked over by a beach ball. I blocked her. The week after that was a roller coaster. Marcus had the audacity to message me on Facebook. "Hey man. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. But feelings are complicated, and I care about her. Hope we can talk someday." Talk? Talk about how you stabbed me in the back while smiling in my face. I didn't reply. Just took a screenshot and sent it to a mutual friend with a one-word caption: trash. I started documenting everything. Contacted a divorce lawyer. Changed the locks. Transferred her name off every joint account I could touch. It was methodical. Cold. Surgical. The hardest part wasn't the legal stuff. It was telling my parents. My mom cried. My dad just nodded, patted my shoulder, and said, "You deserve better." It hit harder than I expected. Because for once, I believed it. 2 months later, the divorce was finalized. No kids, no shared property beyond the house, which I decided to sell. I didn't want to keep living in a place that reeked of betrayal. I got a decent offer, moved out, and rented a loft downtown. Smaller, cleaner, quieter. In that time, something unexpected happened. I wrote. It started as a way to cope, just me venting into a Google Doc about everything that had happened. All the betrayal, the lies, the sheer emotional whiplash of being cheated on by the one person you thought had your back. But the words kept flowing. I published it as an anonymous blog post titled, "She cheated on me with our security driver, and I watched it happen." It blew up. Tens of thousands of reads. Comments flooded in. People who had been through the same thing. People who cried reading it. People who said it gave them the courage to walk away too. Then a media site reached out. Asked if they could republish the piece with a small honorarium. I said yes. That article led to another. Then another. Before I knew it, I had an agent and a book deal on the table, a collection of essays about healing after betrayal, written in the brutally honest tone of a guy who had absolutely nothing left to lose. And the money? Let's just say, it was more than I ever expected. I never thought heartbreak could be profitable, but in some strange twist of cosmic irony, it was. I used the advance to launch a podcast where I interviewed people about love, lies, and lessons learned. It gained traction fast. I became, unintentionally, the poster boy for surviving infidelity. And Kira? I don't know. I don't care. Last I heard through mutuals, she and Marcus didn't last long. Apparently, cheating together isn't the strongest foundation for a relationship. Shocking, right? But honestly, I wish her well, not out of kindness, but because she's no longer my burden. I've healed. More than that, I've grown. To anyone out there going through what I went through, you're not broken. You're not weak for trusting someone. That's not a flaw, it's a sign of how deeply you can love. And yes, it'll hurt like hell when they betray it. But that pain isn't permanent. One day, you'll wake up and realize you didn't think about them before your first coffee. One day, you'll laugh again without faking it. One day, you'll find peace in your own company. And on that day, you'll know that what you lost wasn't love. It was an illusion. Real love wouldn't have left you begging. So choose yourself. Every damn time. Because the best revenge isn't getting even. It's getting better.